What's going on, guys? So we've reviewed the master grade Geara Doga, but now it's time to take a look at the high grade Geara Doga, which came out much before. The master grade, if I remember correctly, was 2015. This one came out all the way back in 2008, so it's getting a little bit older now, but still should be a pretty solid, just basic HGUC kit. I think nothing really too crazy, nothing really too detailed, but still should be pretty good, I think, so I'm looking forward to checking this out. Really cool box art here on the front. There is also the Resin Snyder version of this as well, which is basically blue and with a different rifle. We'll be taking a look at that also next, so I'm just going in numerical order. This one's first, so we're going to take a look at the original one first, and then we'll take a look at the blue version later on. So let's get a look around the box here. On the side, this is number 91 in the line, so going a ways back there. On the bottom, we can see a sample build, so when it's all painted up and looking nice, here's what it's going to look like front and back, and just kind of its normal color scheme there. Nice render here with a few of them, along with the Sazabi there in the background and some stats there all in Japanese. Go around to the top of the box, and here we've got some more details and weapons and things like that. So it's got the beam axe, the Sturmfaust there, and the shield. It's got the rifle there, the beam rifle. It's nice that the master grade came with both versions of that. So the high grade, you have to get a different version of the kit if you want the different version of that. The mono eye moves, that's cool. It's got a nice swinging hip joint there, and then just a cool action pose for you there. The list price for this is 1,800 yen, so a little bit on the more expensive end, because as we know, it's a pretty big design here, and we've got, looks like, some kind of metallic-y silver parts, so that's pretty cool. And of course, just a whole bunch of that green armor, which does look pretty nice. And it'll be interesting to see in the review. I'll compare this to the master grade for you guys, but the color, just in my first impression, the color looks exactly the same. So that'd be cool if they did actually use all the exact same colors for the molding of that. A whole bunch of armor parts there. Very small foil sticker sheet there, it looks like. That's always nice. Some polycaps and some more joint parts and weapons parts, it looks like. And then down to the manual. So let's check this out. Typical HGUC fashion here. Just got a nice big sample photo of the kit. Over here, some information about its height, weight, material, armaments, all of that. On the back side, we got a bunch of the same kind of stuff we saw on the outside of the box, basically action poses, details, things like that, up underneath the feet and all of that. We got some really nice details to paint all that in. Unfortunately, none of that actually is yellow on the molded kit. And no rubbery hose parts for this, but again, you will have to paint the hoses because I don't think there's anything. Well, there are a few parts molded in yellow, but not a whole lot of them. And then we got the color guide here at the bottom. If you wanted to match those colors exactly, you can just translate that Japanese there. On the inside, more information, and again, you'll have to get out your translator app to translate all that Japanese. Nothing's in English at this point in history. And then just some more details, and then some more stuff from Char's counterattack here in the bottom in the HGUC line, the Sazabi, and the two versions of the Geara Doga there. So going to the parts list here, obviously it's a new, totally unique design, so nothing is going to be eliminated except for a handful of polycaps you won't use. Construction will go from the torso to the head, torso and backpack at the same time there, and then the head, and then the weapons and shield, and then the arms, and then the upper body is done, then the legs and the waist. I'll go back here to our color page, finishing up the body, and then just how to mount the different weapons, mounting the Sturmfaust there on the back of the shield, and mounting the shield to the arm, and then putting it up on an action base. All relatively simple, so let's just get into the runners. Alright, so here's our tiny little foil sticker sheet for it, obviously just for the mono eye and the Neozeon marking there for the shield. PC132 here for our polycaps in gray. Then runner A, a nice big 4-color runner here, a couple of clear yellow effect parts there for the B-Max there at the top. Oh, sorry about that. A couple of red parts over here for the heads of the Sturmfaust, a couple of yellow parts for the piping on it, and then just that main green color for the majority of the armor. And then runner B would be the remainder of all of the kind of lighter tone green armor parts. So it looks like you do have options for the head, whether you want to make the regular grunt head or the commander head. So you do have options for that, which is cool. Also, let's look here on the shield. You'll notice that the Neozeon marking there is actually kind of engraved in here. So that's really cool. If you wanted to paint that, that'll make it easier to paint, because you can just paint that by hand, maybe relatively simply, or mask that, or however you want to do it. On the opposite side, if you didn't want that on the shield, you're going to have to putty and sand that over, so kind of could go either way, but it's kind of cool they did that anyway. We're going to see here is our darker green tone. We've got just parts there for the skirt, the feet, shield, and all that. Some parts here that really aren't supposed to be green. It looks like some parts like for the thruster bells and the B-Max handle. Kind of wish that those would have been on the gray runner, but anyway. And then runner D is in this kind of metallic-y gunmetal kind of color, and it looks really cool for the joints and the hands and the weapons part. So I think this is the thing that all of the Char's counterattack HGUC kits around that time were in, because if I remember correctly, the Geara Doga and the Sazabi both also have this color for like the frame and joint parts and things like that, so it's pretty cool. And then lastly, runner E here for a few more of those parts, and we've got 2 of this E-runner here in ABS, actually, interestingly enough. So there you go. And I don't know, if this kit was actually coming out today, the 1800 yen price tag does honestly seem maybe a little bit high. I kind of would have expected maybe 1600 yen, not really a big difference. It is a pretty big kit, so there's a good amount of plastic in there and some pretty good color separation just between the little color separation that it has. I mean, it's basically only like 3 colors. There could have maybe been a few more yellow parts in there, but you will just have a fair amount of little yellow details that you're gonna have to paint in on some of those. But overall, it looks pretty solid. Looks like it's gonna be good. If it's anything like the Geara Doga kit, then I'm gonna love it. I love that HGUC kit despite its age. It's still definitely one of my favorites. And so I'm sure I'll enjoy this one as well. So we'll take a look at this in the review coming up next. Again, if you guys have any questions or comments, as always, feel free to leave those down below, and I'll see you guys in the review. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.